guys, welcome to my channel. I'm April Honey. Today we are going to be making a brick path. Now this brick path was inspired by a code called the old brick path. Oh, you can get it on the kiosk and it's everywhere on the internet. It's not really hard to find. If I knew the proper creator, original creator, I would be happy to give them full credit for the inspiration. However, that code is a little bit too yellowy for me. It's not going to work for the island that I want or that I have. And I do need a 6-piece path. That's the only one really out there. And I am using it on a different island. It's just not going to work on this island. So I decided to make something kind of similar, but not really, because the brick is different and pretty much it's the same in concept, but it's different. So I just wanted to go ahead and put out there where my inspiration came from, because we're always inspired by something or someone, right? And whoever the original creator is on that code, thank you so much for making it. I would have never thought to make a 6-piece brick code, but it's been recreated a lot by a lot of different people and a lot of different languages when I tried to look it up. So I couldn't trace it back to the original creator to share it with you. And I'm sure you all have seen it at this point by now. So we're going to start off the way we start off on every code. We're going to make our brick, the first brick. This is like usually the standard piece. And I'm just adding some shading highlights, a little bit of color variation. The original had a lot of like mossy green pixels in it. I really don't want any like mossy green. I am going to add foliage to it at the end, but I don't really want that mossy green kind of feeling to it. I want it to look old and I want it to look worn in, but I don't want it to look old and worn in quite like that. So we're going to add some cracks and some wearing, and this is going to be the piece that I copy and paste to work all of my edges from. So first we're going to start with the left-hand side piece, and I'm keeping the breakup of the bricks very choppy for a reason. I want it to look like broken brick, so it can't work the same way my dirt codes do. So that's what we're looking at right here. I want to keep everything like a little bit square, right? A little bit like choppy. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to shade those little pieces, but it's not too hard to do. I think you guys will have a really easy time with this one. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the right hand piece. And the same concept applies. We're just breaking up the brick a little bit. I want it to not, to look broken. I want it to look broken and worn. And I don't want it to take up too many slots in my custom code slots, because y'all know how the custom code slots go on these islands. And it's a farm core island, so I'm going to have a lot of custom codes as it is. And I'm definitely going to be using the maximum number of codes, so I don't have room for all of the codes that I would love to have on this island. Really trying to figure out right now how to add in a grass code if I possibly can. I don't think it's going to be possible, but I really would love one. It's definitely not going to work with the road that I chose. So yeah, there we go. Anyways, now we're working on the top piece, and the top piece is going to come out a little bit on the edges. I know it's going to look kind of broken off on the sides, and I'm okay with that. I'm willing to let it go, and I can overlook it, because on the original I saw they did the same thing, and I think it's fine because it never bothered me in that one. We're working on the bottom piece now. And usually the bottom and top piece are just kind of connected together and not really attached to anything else. So I don't know, it looks fine in the end when you use the code. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. To me, it looks fine. And we're just going to keep going. And I wanted to do one extra piece that had like a little bit of broken brick in the middle of it. I wanted it to just look a little bit different and just have one varied piece, so it's not exactly the same all the way across. And now we're just going to do like 2 accent pieces, nothing too crazy, just 2 like broken extra pieces, I guess you can say. They're pretty much optional. You don't have to make them if you don't want to. But I just wanted some optional stray pieces for just outside, because when you use these worn kind of broken pathing, it just it works well. So I just wanted to go ahead and do that. So here's the second one. We're just doing the same thing we did on the first one, and we're just breaking it up. And I'm looking at the canvas over there and on at the top left square up there. There's not too much, it's not exactly the same once you put it down on the ground. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this, but it's not too much the same when you place it down on the ground. It does look entirely different when you put it down on the ground, but it does give you an idea, right? It gives you a really close idea of where the pixels are going to merge together. So I wanted to look at it and kind of do that, adjust accordingly. I didn't like those leaves, so I went back and I did them again. When I put it down on the ground, it blended into the yellowy grass a little too much, and it didn't overlap on the brick at all. So I wanted to go back and overlap it a little bit so that it would stand out and you'd be able to see it. And it'd be like bringing a little bit of the grassy color into the code. Now I did, if you are like a lot of people who message me at these after I make these codes, I did make this in quite a few different color variations, and I made them with spring leaves on them. I made it with a fall orange leaves. So if any of those colors work for you, and if you would like to not have to make it yourself and just get one, then the creator code will be down in the description below, and hopefully you make use of that and you enjoy that. So I'll also release it over on Instagram and those places. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I feel like Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that. I'm so sorry. That was such a bad reference. Okay. We're going to keep going with the foliage. The foliage, really, I'm just doing just like the foliage on the dirt path that I just made. I'm actually using the same exact leaves just because I wanted some continuity throughout my codes. And I thought they were pretty. That's it. That's all I got. I thought they were pretty and I wanted to use them. Yep. That's all she wrote. But either way, I did think it came out cute. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys like it too. I think this is the last piece, or the second to last piece, that I'm doing the foliage on. The only thing I will say that you might have noticed that I did is when I did the foliage, in order for it to not look so two-dimensional, I did go under it and around it with a darker color so that it would stand up a little bit. So it has like a little bit of shadow, so it looks like leaves, right? Like it's not completely like meshed into the brick. I also did the center piece with and one without the foliage. It ended up being like a 7-piece code for me, but that was fine too. I was totally okay with that. Really, you could get away with using only about 3 or 4 pieces of this code if you're really short on custom design slots. And if you know how to use it, then you can get away with using only 3 or 4 pieces. You don't need the top and bottom piece. You don't really need the accent pieces. So if you had like the center, the 2 sides, really you could make do with that if you really had to. So yeah, it's really convenient that way. You can use as many pieces of it as you would like, or you can leave some out. But otherwise, we are coming to the end of this video. I hope you really enjoy this code. Hopefully you guys use it. You found this helpful. I know I usually do 9-piece codes, but I really needed something smaller for this one, and this is the final product. So hopefully you guys like it. I really actually love it, and I can't wait to use it on this island and many future islands to come. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. You could be anywhere in the entire world and you chose to hang out with me for a little bit of your time, and I appreciate that so much. A special shout out to my sweetest honey bears, who right now are Tanya, Jojo Crosses, Emily, Kaylee Games, Raven Skies, Nighttime Luigi, Triforce Hunter and Coin Halo Gaming, Maria Crossing, and Nana A's Gaming. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to continue doing what I'm doing. I love you so much. I hope everyone has a beautiful day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.